shaking?
Hey, what's going on?
I don't know. We
Having a
started
great day today.
Too much. I'm gonna say too much.
Yeah, there's always a lot of stuff going
A
on.
lot of stuff going on. A lot of stuff going on. I'm just like, this is an everyday event though, but it's a lot going on. But we all in the land of the living, and y'all look so beautiful. So, that's a good thing. What was that, Celeste? Okay, so I do not want to belabor the topic today, and I'm going to just call it "Who Got Receipts?" And I want to be specific. I ain't talking about your receipts from Target or your receipts from Zara or one of them these other places. Receipts is facts on what's going on in our political climate, facts on what it takes to be a representative, what it takes to be a president, just facts. You know what I mean? I think that we need to just do an episode like this just to give a little uh aha to our listeners, because I'm not going to belabor the fact that a lot of people do not understand civics. I
Mm.
mean, did y'all, we all had civics in when we was in school. When did they take it
Yeah.
out? No, that
See,
y'all know that fact.
well, I
Yes.
went to a vocational school, so that wasn't the key. It was being a secretary, doing steno. I had religion, I had stuff like that. So I really didn't. Now I understood, the basic stuff, but
Yeah.
yeah,
Well,
no.
and I think civics got incorporated at some point with history, right? It can
Yeah.
or social studies,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Civics was incorporated into that type of curriculum, even if they didn't call it civics anymore. But I know when I was in school, it was civics. But I also went to a high school that was an international high school. So then that's what we focused on, that
Mhm.
type of thing. So that type of study, whether it be domestic or international, right?
Mhm.
So, yeah, but I think it got incorporated in social studies. So when I look at the curriculum for my granddaughters and stuff like that, then it's taught in social studies and or, um, those type of classes.
Mhm.
Well, I think that when we talk about having, just the understanding of the government, the way government is set up, we had a lot of things that kind of helped us along. We had cartoons and things like that that made it kind of fun and friendly. You know what I
Pay
mean?
a bill.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Fun and friendly. But you know what? You still can say that later, 30 and 40 years later, you can still say
Right.
it. And the absence of things that relatable can cause a lots of confusion. I mean, I think it's a whole sector of people that probably need to get some receipts and pull it back and just start to read and understand and probably pull it back from social media where things is persuasive instead of actually factual. I'll just say that. So, who has their receipts to put on the table first?
Well, I would like to start first by
Right.
saying, well, what does it take to be a president? So, of course, I'm the nerd, so I want to know this.
Oh,
So, you have to at least to be nominated for president or to be a president, you have to be at least 35 years old, have lived in the U.S. for 14 years,
Mhm.
and be a natural born citizen. So that's the three requirements that you have to even become the president. So I thought that was quite
That's not
interesting.
enough. That's
It's
not
not
enough.
enough.
You even have to be smart. You don't have to go to
Oh
school.
no,
You don't have to none.
no. Yeah, those
You
are
could
the
be a
three things.
criminal.
but
Clearly.
well,
Man, you
well.
need more than that to get a driver's license. God damn. Can't drink, can't no drink. You can't. That's crazy. I'm running for president.
Run, we will vote for you.
I
We will
think the
vote for
part
you.
that we can't be remiss of these qualifications for presidency comes with a lot of other arms in it.
Yeah.
And I'll say it depends on the climate because you have more qualifications than the person presently trying to run. And everybody on here does.
That's-
But do we have the money and the backing, you know what I mean, to get you moving down the road?
So
So
that was the key to
I
hit.
think that has always been the key, right? And we talk about people in political office and the power and stuff that they have, but we keep forgetting about the people behind the scenes, the king makers, Okay.
Right.
King makers and the king destroyers, basically, right? And so some people don't want to be in politics, but they want to control.
Oh, of course. So that's why you have your millionaires, your billionaires who are um giving money, um, giving out trips, talking to, because they are really paying for their interest, which is their company, their business, their whatever that they deem is important. That's why it's important for us who can only give the $5 and $10, maybe $100 to actually get out here and to vote.
But that's a good thing. That's a good thing. All right, who more? You got more receipts?
I have receipts. So I say when it comes to, women's rights, okay,
Yep.
we have so many issues that are on the table, even though abortion is the biggest topic of them all. But it's all women's health care and reproductive issues that are on the table. And so I would like to say that all 9 Republican senators running for re-election this year voted against the Right to IVF Act, regardless of how you might feel about it. So John Barrasso, Marsha Blackburn, Kevin Cramer, Ted Cruz, Deb Fisher, Josh Hawley, Pete Ricketts, Rick Scott, Roger Wicker, and J.D. Vance. So the Party of Freedom. So you talk about abortion, you talk about the cat ladies who are not giving birth, and the people who don't have any children having a say in how our country is run, but you don't want to, don't want to assist, don't want to help, are against IVF. Like, which one is it? Because everyone can't have children.
Now, isn't a candidate trying to backtrack on that and say that they were going to make the
you don't have a plan yet, but he's
actually pay for the IVF, which is
he took it
$1,000.
and he took it one step further now in saying that he's going to make sure that the government pays for it. It's
Yes.
So which one is it? Well, that's, when someone speaks off the cuff on their own, then it's very different than what the people behind the scenes are saying.
Exactly.
I just wanted to continue talking off the cuff because honestly, well, it's not talking off the cuff. This is exactly who he is. You know what I mean? Facts. But I say this much. Well, no, I'll get into my sense. Celeste, your receipts.
So when I thought about receipts, I thought about, especially in this case, I thought about somebody who actually can do the job. Like, we don't know what might develop. I need them to be ready on all circumstances, right? I need them to show me that they are not only strong enough to make decisions, because we know they're backed up by a whole lot of people, but to sit in it. Like, so when I thought about Harris, I thought about, just how she took a stance on prostitution for young women and try to change the way the law enforcement did things. And it wasn't some of the best decisions that she made when she made decisions on not to do death penalties for this guy. I forget what the situation was, but she stood in it. Like, she made a decision. We're not going to always like the decisions they make, but I want them to be
important,
all the people, and be fair and be able to stand in it. So that was, for me, a receipt for Harris.
You know what, Celeste? Speaking of that, you want somebody too that also tell the truth.
Exactly.
The truth.
I don't know.
The truth.
How many times
don't lie, but tell the truth.
Exactly.
And so here's the thing, right? So when we fact check everyone, there are going to be some things where there are some embellishment, things that are, downplayed, and we know that. And what we have to keep in mind is that we are not voting for our best friend. We are not voting for someone that we want to be our friend. We're voting for someone that we feel most closely aligns with our views. Maybe not everything.
That's right.
So that's why it's hard when there is a whole generation that's out here like, okay, well, because you have anything to do with Israel, we're just not going to vote for you. Like, is that the only thing?
That's the only, right. You can't go off one issue.
Is that the only thing that's on the table? That's pretty scary.
I say it's really scary because it's where you get your news at. Because if you're looking at social media and that's what, because the algorithm follows what you start looking at, you know what I mean? So then it overshadows everything else that may come your way. But it goes back to again where you get your sources from. And we're just in a time where social media will never be shut down. You know what I mean? And people are highly influenced by what they see. Okay. And just to piggyback on what you said, here's my receipt. You want to, this is a receipt for real. You want to condemn Madam Harris, okay, on the stance for Israel and Palestine.
Mhm.
But the receipts are the former president put a Muslim ban in. So what is Palestine?
Mhm.
So what do you think is going to happen? Because now you're pushing the narrative not to vote at all, okay? Which is a vote not for her, it's a vote for him.
For him.
So now the narrative is, because you are not letting one situation let someone speak at the DNC convention, we are going to take her down. We're going to do this. But that's only one thing. And first and foremost, I don't want to seem like anti other countries, but we have to get in the habit that we here in the United States have needs and we must come first. We must come first before anything else. So there's a lot of things going on with Israel and Palestine, and and a lot of things are so terrible. At
Yeah.
the end of the day, choose your choice because your choice is going to be something long term. You know that that person has a very tight relationship with the Israel with the Israel president. Okay, because I'm not gonna mention his name either. He's half of the problem, and on top of that, you have people coming and condemning Black women about the support of Kamala Harris because they want her to have a stance totally against Israel. Israel is our ally. You're not going to change that. You're not going to change that. But if you look at what is really realistic and the receipts, the other person will join in and wipe you off the map. So we have to see what is I guess how our influence is like we're speaking today, how powerful our influence can be. You know what I mean? Telling the truth or not telling the truth.
Mhm.
That's
Mhm.
my feel on it because I think we could have this episode could be 17 hours long, really. If we
Yeah.
start really rolling it out, I mean, really, we start really rolling it out and start saying who said what. Like I know there are some things that I do not agree with, far as what Kamala Harris is her stance and her policy, but she has one. You know what I mean? But I'm looking at the bigger picture, like Chauncey said, it's not just Kim's world or Kim and Kim's family world. It's the the democracy that we have that is teeter-tottering on disaster, you know what I mean, and destruction. So I have to look at it as, you know what, maybe I don't like that policy. And some of the policies that people are putting out here and saying that she's supporting, it's not even facts. But if I look at what she has on her website, because I can relate to what you say,
Mhm.
what you document, then hearsay. Then that's what I have to go with.
That goes back to the truth.
Well, and it goes back to being able to fact check, right? So if I
Right,
see your
fact check.
website and I see what you're standing for, and we all know because we've all done public speaking or we've been asked questions in a public manner that sometimes it's hard to stay on focus and on task because there are so many things that are going on. So you may not necessarily answer the question as clearly as people would like,
I think
right?
it's a good job though.
Right. She does a great job, but you accuse 1 minute that it's too planned or it was too well thought, it was too thought out, you had too much time, but then you say you're speaking off the cuff. So there is no happy medium.
No.
And like Kimmy said, if you go to a person's website, it's easier for you to fact check what they have documented and what they have wrote as to what their path is. And again, making a decision based on what's best. And I know that it's hard right now because so many families and a lot of us are struggling. And so it is hard to look outside of your particular bubble.
Mhm.
I think that,
But you have to.
but you have to. I think
But you
that
have to.
where the issue lies, right, is that we are just looking self-centered and centric to just us instead of looking at our community as a whole, because it's the trickle down effect with all of it, right?
So I'm going to say one more thing in closing, okay? And then everybody can say their final thoughts. Just to say that, you know, we go and we look at what they stand for, each candidate, even down to our local candidates. You know what I mean?
Right.
Those things are documented. You can look at it. You know what I mean? You don't have to assume what someone is saying. You can look at it. That's a fact. You know what I mean? So we do say, please do your homework. You know what I mean? As much as you have internet access to be on social media, go and check out the candidates individually before you use assumptions that really are not facts. But I do want to say this last thing. If we look at Donald J. Trump, okay, and we look at Kamala Harris, and we look at Joe Biden. This is a fact. No one talks about age anymore. No one talks about age anymore. And to me, I just shake my head because you guys remember before, Joe Biden stepped down, that was every day on every network. They never
Because
let
he's
it
the
go.
old guy in the room. Yeah.
Never let it go. So I'm just saying, in closing remarks, I just say for my closing remarks, just try to get between the weeds of it. You know what I mean? Go to these official websites that they have, you know what I mean? And look at what they're saying. I'm not going to be deterred by social media. I mean, I love social media for entertainment, but I have learned during this cycle, I do not like social media for these policies they put out and make up things and all kinds of stuff. It gets exhausting. It really gets exhausting. So, Celeste, your final thought?
So, probably not a popular final thought, but I always have this thing about politicians and honesty and they're just saying things in the campaign and doing something else. So I appreciate the fact that I could actually look at some facts and judge each one of them based on what they've done in the past, right? Because I'm not really sure what you're going to do, but if your track record shows me that you thought provoking and you for the people and I'm a rock with you. But this other candidate, I just don't know what is going to happen. And not that I have a doubt, but if I had a doubt, I would use that to judge myself, and hands down, she would win. That's just
hands down. Hands down. Okay.
hands down.
Hands down. Keisha.
Well, I would say, first of all, vote. If you don't know how to register to vote, Google it and get the policy for your state. Lastly, I want to say, if you encounter problems at the polls, first of all, intimidation, that's a federal crime. And there is a nonpartisan election hotline, 1-866-OUR-VOTE, 1-866-OUR-VOTE. Use it.
And Keisha, girl.
That's good.
And it's good. Chauncey?
I would say, first of all, even if you are registered to vote, check your registration. There are places to go. There are websites to go to, the same website that Keisha just brought up. You can check your current registration. Make sure that you are registered under the correct political party. Make sure you are registered at the correct address and that you are going to the proper polling place that you're supposed to go to. The second thing that I would say is if you're going to look at the news, if you're going to trust someone, pick a neutral party. I like NPR News because I feel like they don't really have a slant. They are just pretty much across the board even. They call a spade, and it is what it is. And the last thing I would say is, if you decide that you're going to vote the other way, don't say crap to me when we all back on the boat going back to Africa. Don't say crap to me. That's it.
No, if you ain't get that one, you got it now. Okay.
Don't say nothing to me about man. I wish. Nope. Don't say nothing to me all the way back. Don't say nothing to me. I'm good.
Can I just say this too? Can I just say this? We have no problem calling up 5 people to go to the club. Let's call 5 people up and go vote.
Bingo.
Let's just go ahead and do the end and have coffee after or have dinner and have drinks after. But let's all make sure we all out there.
And also know, by this being a general election, your job cannot keep you from voting. They are supposed to give you the time allotted, whether it is before work or after work. So don't let that be the reason that you don't go and vote.
Absolutely. That was some good points, y'all. So look here, we are going to have more episodes because look, we are going to be all in your ear because we want everybody, regardless of your affiliation, we want everybody to get out here and vote. But common sense vote. I'm gonna say that. I have to say common sense vote. Don't be swayed by something that if you don't understand it, go and do your research. Go do your research. Go to reputable outlets. Go, please. Because everybody needs to vote. And another thing to just tie into voting, if you got children that's just turning 17 and they'll be 18 before this election, get them registered because you can do it. If they're in school, get their absentee ballot. Please get it. Don't sit back and be remiss because this election, I'm gonna jump on what Chauncey said. I don't like heat and I don't want to be on the boat anywhere. So I'm gonna just tell you right now, that's not gonna work for me. So I'm gonna try to go to the other one up north. I'm not gonna try to be with y'all on that boat because some other people. All right, y'all. Great episode. So joining me today is
It's your girl Celeste, and I hope Keisha give that 800 number out one more time, just in case you need it.
And this is your girl Chauncey. Do all the good that you can for as long as you can.
Okay, and this is your girl Keisha. Again, the number is 1-866-OUR-VOTE. And vote because you matter.
Have a wonderful week on purpose, and we'll see you again next Wednesday. Please take care of yourself.